The sun hung low in the sky, casting a golden hue over the quaint fishing dock of Pine Grove. The air was thick with the scent of salt and the distant cries of seagulls, while the rhythmic sound of waves lapping against the wooden posts provided a soothing backdrop. It was a peaceful afternoon, perfect for fishing, and Sergeant First Class Mark Daniels was taking full advantage of it. Having recently returned from his final tour of duty, he sought solace and a chance to reconnect with the simple joys of life. Mark set up his fishing gear at the end of the dock, the sun warming his back as he cast his line into the calm waters below. He was lost in thought, reflecting on the camaraderie of his fellow soldiers and the challenges they faced together. He had longed for this moment, a chance to escape the chaos of military life. Little did he know that peace was about to be shattered. As he waited for a bite, the distant roar of motorcycle engines grew louder. Mark glanced up to see a gang of bikers rolling into the parking lot, their leather jackets adorned with patches that proclaimed their rebellious spirit. They dismounted, laughter and bravado spilling into the air as they swaggered toward the dock, a cloud of confidence surrounding them. "Look at this guy," one of the bikers shouted, a hefty man with a thick beard and tattoos snaking up his arms. "What's a soldier doing out here? You lost, buddy?" Mark raised an eyebrow, but kept his cool, focusing on his fishing rod. He knew better than to engage in unnecessary conflict. "I'm just trying to enjoy a quiet day," he replied, his voice calm and steady. The bikers exchanged glances, their amusement growing. "Quiet? Here? Not while we're around." Another biker chimed in, a wiry man with a bandana tied around his head. "Why don't you pack up and let the real men have some fun?" Mark felt a flicker of irritation, but chose to ignore them. He focused on his line, hoping to catch a fish rather than a fight. But the bikers were relentless, surrounding him like vultures circling their prey. "Come on, soldier," the bearded one taunted, stepping closer. "What's the matter? Afraid to have a little fun? Or are you just all talk?" At that moment, Mark's patience wore thin. He was no stranger to intimidation tactics, having faced far worse in his years of service. He stood up slowly, the sun glinting off his well-defined muscles, a testament to years of training. "Listen, I'm not here to fight. Just leave me alone and I won't have a problem." The bikers laughed, their bravado misreading his calm demeanor as weakness. "What's he gonna do, huh?" The wiry one sneered. "You think you're tough, soldier? You're just a washed-up hero in a fishing shirt." With that, the bearded man shoved Mark lightly, a challenge hanging in the air. Mark's instincts kicked in. He could feel the adrenaline surging through his veins, a familiar rush that reminded him of the battlefield. "You really don't want to do this," Mark said, his voice low and measured. But the bikers weren't backing down. A moment later, the bearded biker lunged at him, throwing a punch aimed at Mark's jaw. In one swift motion, Mark sidestepped, grabbing the biker's arm and twisting it behind his back. He used the man's momentum to throw him off balance, sending him crashing to the dock. The laughter of the other bikers quickly turned to shock. "What the hell?" the wiry man exclaimed, stepping back as Mark faced him, eyes blazing with determination. "You picked the wrong guy to mess with." Before they could regroup, Mark moved with precision, his military training kicking in. He blocked another attack, dodging and weaving, using their own aggression against them. With a combination of quick reflexes and strategic moves, he disarmed the situation, leaving two bikers on the dock floor stunned and scrambling to get up. "Enough!" the remaining bikers shouted, realizing they had underestimated the soldier. The bearded man, now nursing a sore wrist, shot daggers at Mark. "You'll regret this, soldier." "We're not done." Mark stood tall, chest heaving with exertion, but his expression remained calm. "You can take your threats and leave. I won't engage with you any further. Just know that I'm not someone you want to mess with." With that, the bikers retreated, their bravado deflated, and climbed back onto their motorcycles. Mark watched as they revved their engines and sped off into the distance, leaving behind a cloud of dust and a sense of victory. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Mark returned to his fishing, the peaceful rhythm of the lake settling back into place. He felt a sense of pride swell within him, not just for standing his ground, but for remembering the lessons he had learned in service, composure, respect, and the idea that sometimes the best fight is the one you don't take. The fishing dock returned to its tranquil state, a safe haven once again, and Mark cast his line with renewed vigor, embracing the calm after the storm.